Hey now, it's Sharon and I'm back to share another idea on how to reform the police. If you're new to the channel, I'm a retired detective. I worked for 20 years for a southeastern city in the US, and I was also in the military. I'm sharing my experiences along with my perspective and opinion on how to reform the police based on my experience. And with that being said, I wanted to share an idea or admit something. As a police officer patrolling poor neighborhoods, I would always look at the neighborhood and the people and say, how can they live this way? And that was me being judgmental and condescending. I admit it. That right off the bat, I admit it. As I got to know folks, I realized that folks want the same thing. The folks that live there, they want the same things I want. I want to be able to come out in my neighborhood, walk around, be free and not afraid of running into somebody that's going to hurt me or try to take something. And the folks that I patrolled that area, they wanted the same thing. And then I started to look at the area and the blight that the police agency was contributing to. And in terms of going to that one area, saturating the area with different police units and taking everybody out of the area, then we're wondering why housing is not kept up or people's yards are not kept up, because we kept going in there. I mentioned that in other videos. We kept going in. The place to go get the bodies is usually where Black and brown poor people are. And you could get a quick body or two. That'll keep the sergeant off of you, so the sergeant doesn't mess with your days off. I've been through all of this. But another thing that I wanted to just share with you is the fact that I came in with a certain idea and belief system about policing. And yes, I wanted to run and gun, as they say, get the bad guy, put the bad guy in jail. I had the perspective of Punisher. Think about it. You see the Punisher symbols, the police symbols now, they are associating with Punisher. That's interesting. I wanted to be the guy or the woman that got the bad guy. And if they stepped out of line and defied me, I was going to make sure they paid with a whole bunch of charges or something like that. And like I said, I started to take a step back and really get into my faith because of the ostracism and the retaliation that I faced for telling the truth in a statement. And that made me stop and think, all this running and gunning and trying to be, with the big dogs, if you will. What was I doing to the community? What was I personally doing as an agent of that department? And so I took a step back and I looked at that and I started to think, let me do some digging, because I know where I grew up, we weren't poor, so to speak, but everybody was from that particular place, if you will. And I remember growing up, my mother would take things out of the garden, send it down the street, and people helped one another. And then I saw that in the community that I'm policing, they were doing the same thing. Take this to Miss J's house, because, she needs this. Officer, you want to give a can of soup or something? Because we're trying to get some food for Miss Duncan, because she has all them kids. I've encountered folks like that. And so, like I said, I started to take a step back and really just look at the community. And what I realized in doing research, which is crazy in a sense, because I bumped into the man that bought 435 houses in the area that I worked, 435. And, we're talking to him and he's like, he's doing this because he knows they're getting ready to build a stadium. At that time, they had a stadium, but he knew they would get it. How did he know that? I don't know. The new stadium is there now, by the way. But he bought up all this property because he said the city's going to buy it from me. And I thought that was interesting. Didn't see anything wrong with it. But now when I think back, there was a lot wrong with it, because there were so many homes that were run down and dilapidated and just falling over and adding to the blight of the area. One investor came in and bought 35 homes. And then he just let them go to, as they say, dirt, falling over. But what I didn't know was the city would buy them back for a much big, probably twice as much as he paid. And he was letting them go down, but that means the neighborhood's going down. That means the crime is going to go up. because people are going to look at it like nobody cares. Oh, let me set up shop over here. And that's exactly what happened. But I'm sharing this to share, as a police officer, I came in with one mindset and a bunch of beliefs, and then policing and getting to know folks and getting out to know folks and interacting with the community, not only on the policing level, I'm here to arrest the bad guy, but going to the functions, going to the schools and talking to kids and talking to parents and getting to know them. I wanted to do that. And what I realized, and what I think back to talking to other officers, a lot of officers didn't want to do that. There was a couple that, no problem, we could go talk to kids. You want us to talk to kids? They'll do it, or they'll interact. They'll give their day off to come in. That was far and in between. But a lot of officers, they just want to go, patrol, come back, go home. And they want to go home safe. And like I said, I had to take a step back and really think about the people that I'm protecting, the people that I'm serving. And I did that with a little edge push because I was getting the cold shoulder and getting ostracized from my coworkers. That made me look at it even more. Granted, if I didn't go through the retaliation, I don't think I would have gotten there sooner, to the point where I'm just taking a step back, but I would have gotten there through faith. But yeah, I just want to share that little bit with you. If you're coming in with a certain idea or a certain set of beliefs, and it does not include looking out for other people, and it doesn't include loving other folks, then maybe you should take a step back from policing for a second. It's just a suggestion, and it's my opinion. But that's all I want to share with you guys. If you're new, check out the online store. The link is in the description. Notebooks, mugs, t-shirts, things like that. And always remember, you don't necessarily have to go through a thing to learn from it. Talk to you guys later. Bye.